Welcome. If this is your first time on my channel, my About page explains what this channel is all about. Last night was really strange. For some reason, I decided to watch a movie called Intruders, which, as a kid, introduced me to the alien abduction phenomenon, leaving me traumatized, and along with other similar movies and shows that discuss the phenomenon, is the reason why I'm still scared of being abducted by aliens. I've included a link to Intruders in the description below. After finishing the movie, it was my bedtime, so I turned the light off in my room, turned on my night light, and hugged my teddy bear dog, which was there to keep me safe. Just as I was about to fall asleep, my night light started flickering off and on. Then all of a sudden, a light started shining through my window, and some bald-headed aliens walked through the walls into my room. They temporarily paralyzed me, so I couldn't move. They grabbed me, and then a light transported us into their spaceship. Once there, I was placed on a metal table that was in the middle of two other tables. Bald skullet mullet comedian was on the table to my right, and Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D was on the table to my left. For any new viewers watching, I've included the link to a video of Bald Skullet Mullet Comedian, and the link to a video of Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D in the description below. The bald-headed aliens revealed to me the reason why they've been coming to Earth since the dawn of humankind. Their plan is to create a hybrid species that is 1/3 human, 1/3 bald-headed alien, and 1/3 headwear. So, this species will grow headwear out of their heads. The reason for abducting Bald Skullet Mullet Comedian was because the bald-headed aliens wanted to know why some people with baldness, like Bald Skullet Mullet Comedian, don't decide to create volume on top of their heads and frame their faces with headwear. The bald-headed aliens would certainly wear headwear if they could, but headwear is the one technology that the bald-headed aliens are simply unable to make. They can construct a spaceship that is able to travel between any two locations in space instantaneously, but they cannot construct headwear. So they need the help of human beings. Bald Skullet Mullet Comedian wouldn't stop telling the bald-headed aliens jokes, so they used some kind of technology to block his mouth. But somehow, his vocal cords got transferred to his butt. So he was now literally telling jokes out of his butt, which interfered with the anal probe the bald-headed aliens were trying to perform on him. Plus, the female bald-headed aliens couldn't concentrate on their job at hand, and you'll find out exactly what they did with their hand. They were unable to stop being mesmerized by Bald Skullet Mullet Comedian. The attraction was too strong. They kept fondling his heads, yes, plural, and continually stroked his main unit, aka his mullet hair. So the male bald-headed aliens decided to abort the experiment, and after fixing his vocal cords so that he could talk out of his mouth once again, they transported Bald Skullet Mullet Comedian back to Earth. He arrived on Earth naked, because the bald-headed aliens have a clothing fetish. After running away from crowds of women who were chasing him as usual, Bald Skullet Mullet Comedian was spotted by the cops, who arrested him for indecent exposure. A certain part of him had landed right through the hole of a donut, which was still firmly attached to his member. After removing and eating the donut, the cops brought Bald Skullet Mullet to the slammer, where he spent the night. He was assigned the task of picking up any bars of soap that would get dropped on the floor of the prison showers. The bald-headed aliens turned their attention to Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D. and were about to cut his head open to do some brain research, but noticed that his brain had already fallen on the floor because the good doctor forgot to sew his head closed properly during the most recent lobotomy that he performed on himself. The bald-headed aliens were awestruck because Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D. was behaving exactly the same way that he did when his brain was in his head. They grabbed the most powerful microscope in the universe, but the magnification wasn't powerful enough to view the portion of Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D.'s brain that is responsible for logical thinking. Once they were finished with Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D., it was my turn. The bald-headed aliens were about to steal my headwear, when all of a sudden, Superman flew into the spaceship, immediately grabbing Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D. and myself, then quickly left the spaceship with us under his arms, using his power to keep people alive and comfortable in space. He flew us back to Earth first, dropping off Dr. Frank.N.Stein M.D. back into his dumpster bin. Then, I was brought back home safely, where I can now share the story. Thanks for watching, until the next video.